Welcome to the video. We're going to take a look at the Opus Orchestrator. They recently released the drama pack, which was quite inspiring. And so I thought I would just get back into creating my own presets inside Opus, and I thought I'd share what I've learned this week. So let's get into it. First, I'll play a little bit from one of the presets I just created, and then we'll delete that completely and start from scratch and create our own. So let's get rolling. Alright, so that's the kind of preset we want to look to make today. So let's go to the presets here and go to score, empty preset, double click, should delete everything. We'll go to strings and we'll make sure that we're in the right spot, doing the right things. We'll start in strings and we'll go to basses and we'll go to bass staccatissimo. And we'll turn on the grid and go back and make sure we're in a lowest note and a couple octaves down for the bass. And we will update it. Notice it hasn't updated, so you just click this on and off again and it'll update to the lowest. So we should be good to go and create our bass sound. We'll put it on solo. And what we want to do is grab a bunch of eighth notes to get our foundation for a nice rhythmic bass. So let's start drawing that in. And I'll start right like that and just go down. And we've got all four measures of music open here so we can hold down a chord for a long time and get some variation and different instruments coming in and going. And alright, so now let's select the first one. And we want to make sure that we have variation in our velocities. So our first note should be very high, so we just make sure it's almost full for the first beat. And then the second beat, we can take it lower. In fact, we'll hold down the control key and we'll set every second note from the first one a bit lower, and so we have that variation. And then we'll have to do this again like that if I'm doing it right, and then give these the accent. So really just what I'm doing is adding some accents to every second beat. Let's hear what we got. Hopefully we'll hear something. I got my RTS system hooked up here. Let's just play a normal like triad so we get everything set up proper to hear what we want to hear. Yeah, so I'm just basically, I have a system here set up to play all kinds of chords into this. So it helps me demo whatever I'm doing. So, okay, we've got our triads and we have the bass staccatissimo playing on the lowest note, and we're getting a nice groove going here for a foundation. And we have some variation in those velocities. So we can go up here. Well, actually, we're going to add a little variation too, because it's nice to have things just a little bit different. Just when the ear thinks it's repeating, then you can just add something that's a little different. So let's go up and see what that small change gives us. Yeah, I like that. It's a little bit, but we have way too much reverb. So let's quickly go to the mixer. And we'll be trying to mix this really quick. And the bass needs to be solid center with very little reverb. Our other instruments will have plenty of room and space, so we want to keep our foundation nice and solid to start. So let's go back to the main. And that's pretty much it for our first instrument in the bass. Let's go up to the next one and grab a cello. And we could go with a staccato, and we could say lowest note. We could say down an octave, and we can turn it on. Actually, it was right there. So you can turn that on and make sure it's on the lowest so it's ready to go. And for this, actually, we can go back here and just copy these notes. Why do it over again twice? But we might make a variation, so we'll go up here and copy it, and then go up here, and then it should paste it. As long as the timeline start is there, it should paste in, and it did. And let's see if we got this one correct. Let's solo that. But let's make a change, and let's bring this down just for a little variation. And we might even we might do something even a little bit more, but we don't want to do too much too quickly to confuse our listeners. We want to take them on a musical journey of some emotions up and down, but we don't want to confuse them along the way. So we don't want to do too much too quick. Let's listen to that. Now we're listening to 4 measures of music, so it takes a while if you hold down a chord. And in context with the bass, that's a little bit loud on the cello. Let's back that off. Let's go to the mixer quick, and let's turn down that reverb because it's part of our bass hub there. And so right now it sounds like almost no reverb at all, but like I say, we'll add instruments that have reverb. But I'm liking the way this is going already, so let's quickly go up to the viola, which we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to do staccatissimo. We're going to go, we'll turn it on. That's always a little annoying how that works, but a little pet peeve. Okay, let's go with the middle note. Octaves should be good. Let's go 8th notes, but let's try to draw in something that's got some real motif to it, something cool if we can. It's all a matter of trying out a bunch of different ideas. So let's go like that, and maybe like that. Oh, I've got an idea. Let's delete that, and let's go like that, and like that. And if we got it hooked up, we should hear our viola. Oh, I like that very much. Yeah, I like that a lot. So let's try to, first of all, let's adjust the velocities. The first beat we want strong. Second beat can be not so strong. And then strong, but not quite as strong. Back off on that one. That one. We're just giving some variation. I like to, wherever the accent should be, I like to have a strong note and then back it off a little bit. Just variation. All right, now let's lasso them all. Let's copy them. Let's move the playhead up. Let's paste. And, well, I don't know if we should move that over. Let's listen to how it sounds once we get another one in there. And then the last note we can just drag out to end it. Back to the beginning. Let's hear what we got. Yeah, liking that a lot, so that's good for now. Mixer wise, let's check. That viola can have some reverb, so Let's put it about there. Now let's go back and keep going. This next one, we can use a violin and maybe something like a sustain, and we don't necessarily have to use all the instruments, but sometimes I like to throw some things in there and I can just shut them off or mute them if I don't like them. So let's do that with the violin. Let's put a sustain. Let's go top note and lead note. Let's see if we can get a low violin in there. Let's turn it on. Let's write in a long note, so we're at the top. Grab the pencil and let's do a long note and a long note, and we're going to basically give them an envelope, draw in some motion as far as the let's go a little higher, and this will bring the violin in and out in a nice sustained way, hopefully. Let's turn it down, see if we got it hooked up right, and let's solo that, and with just nothing else on. So by itself, it's nothing great, but it's one of those instruments that give you variation as you hold down your chords. It just brings in something to the mix. So let's hear it in context with everything else. Like I say, we may or may not keep it, but I like where it's at right now. We'll leave it there. Now we're going to go for a violin sustain, and I'm thinking maybe solo violin, but we'll start with the idea of just a regular sustain violin. We'll go a high note, top note, octave up, and we'll turn on its player there, and I think we're going to write in a melody here, so we're going to have like maybe quarter notes, and we'll just create something and see what happens. So we want a melody of that sustained violin on top of the motion beneath it. So let's write in some simple ideas, and maybe we'll go up and then down and up, and last note can be down, but it'll be a longer note, and we'll take it from here. We'll just, if we got it hooked up, we'll see what we've got, and we'll check the mixer. We want to have that reverb on the violin, but not as much, and same with the other one, violin 2. Let's go back, let's give it a listen. And you're hearing no motion, but you hear the violin. Is because I forgot to turn that on. There you go. And for now, that's working out. We'll leave it for now, and we've got some melody in there. And next, let's go. We've got our reverbs kind of roughly in there. Let's go to brass. Let's have a nice French horn sustain, I guess. And we're going to add another. We want the brass to swell in, right, to kind of build up. So let's see, we'll go maybe a mid note. I'm thinking we'll start with a middle note, and the brass might go down 1 octave. We'll bring it volume down a little bit. We'll turn on its, and we will write in a couple let's see, in the middle, okay. We'll write in a long note and another long note, get those swells going. And get some of that like that. So that will bring it up and down and swell. If we've done it right, we'll have to adjust it possibly. But let's listen to what we got solo. And I think we still have our strings on solo. It does get a little confusing with all the solo buttons. If you go up here, it's another pet peeve of this software is that it has solo and mute, solo and mute, solo and mute up here. And if you have them in the wrong combination, it'll get so messed up, it'll take you a while to figure it all out and turn all the buttons off and start again. It's a little pet peeve. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but sometimes it gets a little frustrating. Let's go, we were at the bass, or the brass, and I think it's solo now. Okay, let's, in context. Not sure if I'm hearing it enough. A little low, let's bring it up an octave. And I'm thinking it's a little slow on arriving, so let's activate it a little sooner. And maybe not quite so high up, but a little sooner to arrive. And maybe start out a little stronger. Something like that. All right. I'm liking that. Let's check the mixer. And maybe not so much, but still nice to have some on that. Let's go back. So we may want to add something else. But for now, let's go to the woodwinds. And let's have a little fun with maybe a clarinet and a staccato clarinet, middle note, keep the octave at maybe +1, turn it on, and we want this to be one of those instruments that don't show up right away, but if you hold down the chord long enough, they appear and add something to it. So let's just do a little bit of some woodwind fun up here, and maybe something like, oh, let's move that back up, and something like that, and so that's up, down, and maybe something like that in the end, if we hold it down that long, which 95% of the time you're not going to hold it down that long. But it's nice to have that variation and being able to hold it down and still have things moving and changing as you do. So let's give that a listen. Is it activated? It is not. Now it is. a bit high. I'm debating to keep that or move it or change it, but I'm thinking for fun we'll add maybe a little bit of movement here. Again, this one might be muted in the end, but for now we'll leave it. And then we might add a bassoon in a staccato, and we might have that, we'll turn that on. And that'll be down an octave, and that will help solidify our bass. And the contra bassoon might be too low, but let's just keep it with the staccato bassoon at an octave down. Let's go back to our strings and let's grab these notes again and copy them back to the woodwinds, and that's the right one. All notes will go lowest note, down an octave, and this should be the one. Playhead's in the right place, paste, and we might move that down. We might leave that up, and let's give a listen. Down again. Mixer, a little bit less reverb, and back. Let's listen with everything. Yeah, it kind of works with the clarinet a little bit. You know, we're just coming up with ideas here. Let's go to percussion and let's get a little bit of percussion. Timpani, let's go with a hit. And all notes. I don't know, we'll go with all notes. We'll leave the octave. We'll turn it on, and we'll say, well, we'll try it with all, and then we'll give it, I don't know if we should keep it with the bass. It might be too much, but let's write it in, same as the bass. In fact, maybe let's just delete those, and will it? No. So I think once you leave this area, it deletes what's ever in the cache for your clipboard. So let's select these. Well, we might as well just write it in while we're here by the time we go and grab those notes. Let me get this straight here. All right, and want that first hit to be strong, and it is. We want the rest. We don't want to take up too much time, but let's just quickly grab these and lower them. Bring that down, and let's see what we've got here. That's pretty strong. Let's back that way down. Let's go to the mixer, and let's say that's a bit too much. In context. We might want to back that off a little bit more. And we might want to add something like maybe a tam-tam, or maybe something else. Bass drum. Let's turn it on. And let's just write in some notes. We want maybe I don't know if we want to have a counter rhythm here or not, but let's try it. We're sketching, we're trying ideas. That's what this is all about. And if we like it, we save the preset. If not, we erase it and start over. But you always learn something. And we got some power going on there. In context. I think if we get rid of a lot of that reverb and clean it up, it'll tighten up, and it's something we may want to just blend in and have as an option. And we probably might want to change the rhythm of that, but yeah, that's kind of radical. I'm thinking we'll go back and maybe just play it safe, delete all this, and we're going to write in something with a short hit, same as the bass, but we're going to have spaces in it, so the listener won't be guaranteed to know exactly when it's going to hit. And I just want to try this to see how that would sound. An experiment, if you will. Grab that first note. Make sure that's got a little accent on that. If we like it, we might tune it up more. Let's listen. Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but let's just keep rolling here. We'll play it safe. And you could add an accent on everyone, but I think we'll. First one's got it, second one, third one. Well, since we're here. And accents for those. Turn it down a little bit. I wonder, can you turn that octave down, or what does that do with the drums there? Let's just listen if there's any. No, but you could hard hit, short, felt. Okay, well, let's go back to the strings, crank up the bass a little bit, the jelly, and we'll go to the percussion mixer and just make sure we don't have too much. Give it a little bit more there. Let's listen what we got. And with the whole thing. Not really hearing those clarinets. Let's go to the woodwinds. Is that on? It's on. Let's turn it up. Yeah, it's kind of neat. I guess it's in there. So let's keep rolling here. Okay, so I think we're at a place where we have a half decent preset. Let's go back to strings here. And so we can go to the presets. We can go to user and we can set this up. So I have my Opus preset category here, set it at the right one. Give it a name. So I give it temporary names as just numbers until I, in my mind, like it, keep it, and name it something appropriate. So let's just call this number 5 for now and make sure that it's in. It's going to save it in my right folder, and then you can hit save and then hit this, and now if I look at my Opus presets specifically, it's in there. So now let's go and turn on perhaps a more interesting set of chords, slightly more interesting, and let's play something. And I think I might go down an octave. Oh, let's stay up the octave, but we've got a very high note chord there, and we're gonna take that. Now, C minor. D minor. Something a little darker, more let's see if we can get some more bass going there. And so the orchestrator, obviously where you play your chords really changes your preset, how it plays. And I'm just experimenting with different ranges and different chord zone. And just to kind of test out the preset, how it sounds with different chords and different ranges. And that's sounding pretty good to me. So I hope you enjoyed this little experiment of creating a preset in Opus. Opus has that great Hollywood sound. It really is a great thing to sketch in. And the more I learn about this, the more I want to create more presets. So I thought I would share this, and I sincerely hope you were able to play music wherever you're at in this world. And we'll see you on the next video.